My name is Ken. I'm the country manager of StashAway, and StashAway is a digital fund manager in which you can invest your money and grow your wealth. Sure. So StashAway is a digital platform which enables you to invest your money globally. And what you do is you download the app and you deposit your money, and we invest on your behalf. So this is different from a stock trading account because you have to make your own investment decisions, right? Whereas with StashAway, we take all of that thinking away from you and we invest based on our expertise. So why should you use StashAway and maybe not some traditional offerings? I would say it's because we are in 2021, and instead of watching regular, we have Netflix. Instead of meeting someone in person, we all now have Tinder and things like that, right? So digital investing has also moved on, and digital investing means that it's a lot more simple for you to start investing, and it's actually a lot cheaper as well. So traditional unit trust fees are around 7%, and our fees are only 0.8%. And all of this enables you to invest globally, which in the past has been really difficult. So all in all, we make it easier, we make it cheaper and faster for you, right? And trust me, a lot of working professionals ask me the same question, regardless of whether they are junior or whether they are senior, right? So if you keep asking yourself that question, you will never get started, you will never learn, and you will never invest. And as a uni student, the best thing you have is time on your hands. While you may not have a lot of income or money to put aside for investment, what you have is a lot of time for you to learn about how to invest. And once you do start, that power of compounding will really help you. So for example, if you are 25 and you want to get 1 million ringgit by the time you are 60, you would only need to put aside 450 ringgit. But if you are 35 and you want to reach 1 million ringgit, assuming some sort of return, say around 5-6%, you need to put twice that amount, because compounding interest really helps you. And with time on your hands, the best time is to start now. As a uni student, while you don't have a lot of money, that's actually not an impediment to start to invest, because StashAway doesn't have a minimum amount as well. We don't have a minimum to get started. So the sooner you start to learn, the better. And then let compounding interest work for you. Yeah, whatever you invest in, you should know the basics, right? So just go to the website, read some reviews. There's a lot of material out there on YouTube and on blogs. What I would say is that you don't need to be a financial expert to start investing. You need to understand what the platform, whatever platform that is, brings value to you, right? What are you actually investing in? Are you investing in global equities or Malaysian equities, or is it a bonds, or is it gold? Understand what you're actually investing in, and then find out before you start investing. There will be no point in your life where you will feel like you're an expert when it comes to investing. So all you have to do is start a little bit at a time, and trust me, when you are already invested, you will force yourself to learn that much more. So you don't need to be an expert, but it's always good to understand the platform to a certain extent, and what you're really being exposed to when you invest. As long as you're 18 and above and you have a Malaysian bank account, you're allowed to invest. While it may be quite difficult for an international student to start investing in Malaysia, as long as you have a Malaysian bank account, you can start investing. But because we are regulated here in Malaysia in a certain way, when you do leave to go back to whatever country you came from, or you're leaving Malaysia to work in a different country, you need to withdraw from a Malaysian bank account before you leave. Yeah, so make sure you do that before you leave Malaysia. Not long at all. So because it's digital, you don't need to fill in a lot of forms, and it's not very complicated. Essentially, it takes about 15 minutes for the onboarding process to complete, and then once your account is verified, when you send us money, we'll invest for you. So you don't need to worry about timing the market, choosing when to enter the market. As soon as you send us the money, we will invest it on your behalf. And then the registration process takes no longer than 15 or 20 minutes. And we only need your IC, but if you're an international student, we only need your passport. Yeah, good question, right? The biggest concern here is that the platform that you're using is not legitimate, or it invests in a really risky way and you could lose your money, right? So first of all, StashAway is regulated by the Securities Commission, which is a governing body in Malaysia which looks after all fund managers. And also we're set up in a way where there's this separate account which is independent of us, is overseen by someone called a trustee, who is also licensed by the Securities Commission. So because of this setup, we can't run away with your money and you can't do anything with your money other than invest it or withdraw it to your bank account. With regards to minimizing the downside of your investment, all portfolios that we offer, and there's 12 of them to choose from, are very diversified. So they are made up of 7 to 12 different ETFs. ETFs are essentially listed funds. So what you get is a fund which has 7 to 12 different ETFs in them, and that makes it very, very diversified. Diversified funds make it very unlikely for you to lose money in the long term. And I use the word here long term because you really need everything to work out in balance in order for it to slowly grow, steadily grow. And ultimately, if you're diversified, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. So when things go down, it goes down less, so it's balanced out. And when you have multiple different asset classes in there, like equities and bonds and gold and property and a little bit of cash, it's very diversified, so you ultimately are protected from losses in that sense. There's no minimum. So if you start with 100 ringgit or something like that, there's no minimum that you need to retain there. Otherwise, if you keep depositing, then your amount will be retained. So there's no minimum that you need to retain there. And if you don't need to also manually pay the fees because it comes out of your investment. We do it automatically for you. So short run, there's no telling because markets can move any way, shape or form, and I can't guarantee that you will get positive returns in any period of time. So what I can say is that you can choose the amount of risk that you're comfortable with, and returns are connected to how much risk you take. So if you want to take very, very low risk, you should also expect a modest return. If you're taking a lot of risk, then you can expect a higher return. So based on the last 3.5 years, almost 4 years of operating, per annum, we have returned to our customers anywhere between 3.5% per annum to 17% per annum. So that's the positive track record that we have gotten, and there has been no calendar year where we have ended up in losses across all the portfolios. So you need to have a multi-year approach when it comes to investing, because if you invested for a couple of months and it's underwater for a while, you shouldn't take it as, StashAway is not working, right? Sometimes things takes time. The moment you enter into StashAway, there may be things happening in the global markets that make something go down. So you ultimately need to have a longer term perspective, at least a few years. And with that, you also have to learn why something has gone down or why something has gone up, right? As opposed to say a stock, for example, which can go up and down as well, but you need to learn so much more about the company, and you need to do a lot more homework than investing in a fund, and there's a lot more risk associated with a single stock. Yep. I have two takeaways. So the first one is to do your own research and understand how StashAway can really help you. There's a lot of choice out there in the world, and ultimately you need to know what you want. If growing your wealth for the long term is something that you want, then StashAway is a good product to begin to learn, because it doesn't take active management for you to look at it every single second for you to buy and sell. Also, the risk associated with investing in StashAway is not as high as investing in a single stock or trading forex or cryptocurrency, right? So you want to start with something that you can actually handle the volatility. So do your research and get started, because it's really easy to invest using StashAway. The second thing I want to say is that because we are a fintech company and we're growing very quickly, we also need smart people, good talent to join our company. So do go to do look for our careers page, which is stashaway.my/careers, or just Google StashAway careers, and you can look at all the opening roles that we have with regards to, say, internships or full-time roles. Good luck with your studies.